Hey trail travelers, today we are working on Optimus here. We're going to do a couple things. We're going to do an oil change on the 3.6 liter, but first we're going to change the rear diff cover and add a MetalCloak skid plate. So that should be pretty cool. If you haven't done your diff oil before, it's actually a pretty easy job. It's a drain bolt on the bottom, pull that out, let it drain, put it back in, fill it back up, you're good to go. Only takes a couple minutes. It's going to take us a little longer because we're actually replacing the rear diff cover with the MetalCloak one, not because we need to, but more because it just kind of looks cool. On the front diff, the MetalCloak diff cover, or the diff skid for the front, requires their diff cover because the skid plate bolts to some spots on the diff cover itself, unlike other ones that just kind of bolt to the existing holes that are on the stock diff cover. This is a new diff cover with a skid plate. So since I replaced the one on the front, I'm going to go ahead and replace the one on the back so that they match. So we got a little bit more work in replacing the diff cover, but doing the fluid is actually going to be pretty easy. It's only 25 degrees outside, so it is a little cold, but let's get to it and let's start tearing down the rear diff. To take the rear diff cover off and put the new MetalCloak one on, we only have a few tools that we're going to need. We have a 10mm socket that we'll use to take off the stock bolts, and then we have a T40 to put on the new bolts, an extension, a ratchet, and a ratchet driver, simply because there's a lot of bolts, so this is a time-consuming process without something that's going to make your life a little easier. Okay, first thing, you got to remove the drain plug, and I'm just using a 3/8 extension on here, and we'll crank this guy off, unscrew it, and we'll let that drain. Now, on the end of here, it's kind of a little magnet, so we want to wipe this off, make sure this is all clean before it goes back on. Let's grab a shop towel, make sure we get all that smudgy stuff off, get this all cleaned up. Here we go, nice and clean. This is going to be ready to put back on. So we're just going to go ahead and let this drain. And next, we need to start taking off all these bolts to get the stock gear cover off. Well, now we've got the diff cover off. We're just going to clean this all up real good and get ready to put on the new one. Now, this is definitely where things get a little tricky when you're by yourself. So I got all my screws handy, and once I get one bolt in, I'm going to be in pretty good shape because this diff cover is actually pretty darn heavy. So I'm going to try and get this in a position, make sure I've got a bolt handy where I can get it on quickly, and we'll go from there. All right, one in. All right, now if I can get another one in so it'll hold everything in position, I'm going to be in really good shape here. All right, we've got 2 of them in there. So now I can just go ahead and start getting the rest of them in. And I'm just gonna get them in place before I start tightening them down. You can see there's a lot of screwing going on here. So a power ratchet like this really makes things go smoother. Okay, they're all in place. Now to start torquing everything down. Well, with the diff cover back on, we can go ahead and reinstall the drain plug. Whew. All right, almost done. Time to top off the fluids. And when it starts spilling out, that's when you know you're done. We just put the drain plug, or the fill plug, back in. All finished. Time to put the diff guards on. So we're going to take the skid plate and just kind of get it up here and rest it up on the axle so that we can get the clamps in place. All right, that's the back piece. Time to get the front of it. So now we just need to move the big piece in place, take our top piece, get it in position, drop our bolts in, All right, now we're ready to tighten everything down. All right. Well, there we have it. Some beautiful MetalCloak differential guards, front and rear. Absolutely beautiful. I think she's ready to hit the trail. Well, that wasn't too bad of an install. The diff guards, or the diff covers themselves, that's a little kind of a pain when you're by yourself. If you had someone else to help hold that up there, it'd make it go a lot easier, but it definitely can be a one-person job. I mean, I just did it. So figure, you know, an hour, you'll be in pretty good shape. Follow the directions. It's not hard to do. Make sure you get the right diff oil. Pick that up anywhere. And those diff plates look great. So can't wait to get it out on the trail. And with those MetalCloak differential skid plates, I've got a lot less worry out on the trail. So thanks for watching, everybody. This has been Kerry with Trail Traveler. I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.